latest thing that I've gotten is You Gotta Believe. Have you heard of that organization?
I don't think so.
It's in Brooklyn, New York, the Older Child Adoption and Permanency Movement. Their article that I'm reading is Youth Homelessness and the Lack of Permanent Relational Planning for Teens in Foster Care. And the biggest thing that they were talking about is how a teen at age 14 can claim that they're independent, but that they can't be adopted yet. So they're like in this limbo. And I have to tell you, I'm not an expert in any of this. The reason we're doing this is we got permission in our district to do an innovation lab where kids are creating their own courses per passion. Some of the kids wanted to do homelessness. So what we found out is a lot of similarities between a literal homeless teen and a figurative homeless teen in a classroom. And so what we're trying to do for next year, we brought the mayor in and a bunch of city people. We're trying to have a space for this innovation lab next year that would also provide a teen shelter, like an internet cafe in the day and a teen shelter at night. And so obviously a lot of legalities and things that we want to be able to work through.
That sounds really good. That's nice.
So I don't know if you have any suggestions for us. We're working with the House of Neighborly Services is the organization that just recently helped open a day shelter for homeless people. But again, they're, I don't know how, I think the youngest that they accept is, gosh, I don't know if it's 19 or 21. You might know that. But we know we have teen homeless, but we know that none of them, come to any of the things that we offer. The word that I've gotten is because once they do, they sign in through the House of Neighborly Services, and then they would potentially be placed in a foster home. And a bunch of those would rather sleep by the river than be placed in a foster home.
If you wanted to open up what we call a basic center through the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act, you also can apply for a grant through the Department of Health and Human Services. So that might help with your effort as far as getting funding. Then there'd be regulations attached to how it's run and operated. Otherwise, trying to find private donors to help with that basic center. Have you looked into other providers in your area
Yeah,
that might be doing the same thing or something similar?
Yeah, what we're trying to just fund it on our own. We've also been told we could get some innovation funding from the government for school, but there's so many strings attached, and so we are really trying to seek our own funding. What we want to do, and what the mayor's biggest concern was, an ability to change some of the laws so that legally these are teens doing this, wanting to help other teens, and we're thinking that maybe that will reach them better, as opposed to, some older people saying, come do this. But we want to do it legally as well. And so I don't know if we need to change laws to do that, or...
I don't know. It depends on what's going on in Colorado as far as laws, and the mayor sounds like he might know best. Is your organization, is it a nonprofit, a 501c3?
Yes, we're within the school district. It's an innovation lab, but it's within the school district.
Okay. There's some programs out, I think it's in Fairfax County, Virginia, where the school district has helped to house homeless teens, and they provide different housing options, like even a host home where it's not a foster family, but it's still that same concept. But then they also have different housing, like apartments available for the youth. So that might be something you all could look into.
Okay, well, one of the...
the HEARTH Act, HEARTH.
Okay.
There's education for homeless children and youth that might be able to provide some funding for an effort that you're looking to do.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we're really just trying to make sure that we can do this legally, you know? So, what would you suggest? What are some of the things that you guys are doing? I connected to you through, her name is Barbara Poppy. Mark Harvoth is somebody that we followed, and Barbara was on one of his interviews. And so she mentioned you guys, and that's how we connected to you. So, and she said, connect there, you know, and see what you can do to help us. And so that was another reason we wanted to connect with you and see what can we do to help you. What steps are you suggesting people take?
Some of the steps would be to survey your community and see what organizations are already out there, and looking at churches and other nonprofits to see how services can even be coordinated and efforts can be coordinated. And you'd want to look into those two different programs that I told you about, the Runaway and Homeless Youth